Rebecca, and today I'm going to be filming my Q&A video. I feel like it's a good idea for me to just sit down and let you know who I am, how I ended up here, and answer some other questions. I asked you guys on my Instagram, what do you want me to answer? What do you want to know about me in a video? And so I have all those questions right here for you, and I'm going to answer a wide range of topics, and hopefully that'll give you a better sense of who I am and about my life. So a question I got a lot is, how old are you? And to answer that, I'm 17 years old. I just graduated high school, actually. I finished a semester early, and that's kind of what allowed me to do this program I'm in now in Brazil. What are you going to be doing in Brazil? Studying or just chilling? That's a good question. I think a lot of people think I moved here to just goof around and have fun, which, well, that partly is true. I'm here doing an exchange program, actually. I'm here for 3.5 months, and I'm living with a host family, and I'm going to school here in the mornings. I go to school from 7 a.m. to 12:20, and then I just kind of have the rest of the day to do whatever. Right now, I'm taking a lot of Portuguese classes, so I don't have a whole lot of free time, but that should change up soon, and then I'll be able to explore more and do more things here. Yeah, in answer to that question, I am here for an exchange program. So I'm going to school even though I already graduated high school. What's the town you're from like / do you like living in Skagway? Skagway is this really small town in southeast Alaska. It's really close to Juneau, which is the capital, if you know where that is. And there's about 800 people who live there year-round, but in the summer there's around 3,000 because a lot of seasonal workers come up to work for all the cruise ships that come into town. We get like 10,000 people a day off the ship, so it's a lot of college kids who come to work and just younger people. And Skagway's actually really fun in the summer, but in the winter it turns into more of a ghost town. Very quiet, all the people leave, a lot of stores close down, so I like Skagway summer, but not so much in the winter. I go to boarding school. Well, I went to boarding school for high school, and so I never really spent a full year there. When I was younger, we would spend our winters in Vermont, and so I never got the full Skagway experience, but honestly I'm kind of fine with that because it's just very dark, very cold, and very quiet there. And yeah. Are you going to college? Yes. Oh yes, I'm definitely going to college. Where? I do not know yet. I've just been waiting back to hear from schools. I've gotten into a few of my safety schools, which is really exciting, but my top choices I won't hear from until March or April. So I will keep you updated, but yes, I am definitely going to college. What did you want to do when you grew up? I had a lot of different career paths I wanted to do when I was younger. I used to really want to be a cardiac surgeon, which is a heart surgeon, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, Rebecca, what the heck? You hate blood. But then when I was around 7 or 8, I really got interested in fashion, and I wanted to be a fashion designer so badly. My dream was to go to FIT or Parsons and be a huge fashion designer someday, and I would always sew dresses. I even did an online independent study with Parsons on fashion design. I toured FIT more times than I can count. But then, after I did an internship last year, I got really interested in political science and international relations, and so that's what I'm more interested in studying now. What's your Starbucks drink? Oh God. Well, first I want to shout out the girl who asked me this question. Jasmine, I love you. You're the cutest Starbucks barista in the world. And my Starbucks drink is a venti hazelnut latte with 5 shots and whipped cream. I'm super unhealthy. Where is your favorite place you've lived? Ooh. That's hard. I've lived in Skagway, Alaska. I've lived in Sitka, Alaska, in Chester, Vermont. I've lived on Sanibel Island, Florida, and I've lived in Washington, D.C. and now I'm living in Brazil. So that's a lot of places. Every single one has their pros and cons. I'm sure Brazil will be my favorite place I've lived by the time this is over, but I'm still living here now. So I'd say my favorite place that I've lived is Washington, D.C. without a doubt. I had the best 6 months of my life there, and I will explain more of that to you. I think there's a few questions that get into that. How many countries have you visited? I want to say like 15. Oh, maybe not that many. 12, not 15, 12. What's at the top of your bucket list? Oh, so many things. I definitely think that eventually I want to be able to say I've been to every single continent. That would be incredible. Even Antarctica, I would love to go there someday. Even though I hate the cold, it still looks so beautiful and different from Alaska. All right, well, I have 10 million questions saying, what do you like about Brazil? What's your favorite part about Brazil? How is Brazil? What are you looking the most forward to in Brazil? So I guess to answer all of those in kind of one loop, so far I love the food, the weather, the beach, the people. Everybody's so nice here. I haven't really found anything that I don't like. Actually, that's not true. I have gotten eaten alive by bugs while I've been here. It's the one thing I don't like. Like, for example, today I woke up with 5 bug bites on my ankle within a 5-inch radius, so that was super fun. What were your thoughts about Edgecombe? Okay, Mount Edgecombe is the high school I went to. It's a boarding school in Sitka. I went there for, I guess you'd say 3 years, even though I've gone there all 4 years. I wasn't there second semester last year or second semester this year. It's a really good school academically. I love it. The teachers are incredible, but the dorms were absolutely awful. So last year my mom actually rented a house in Sitka first semester, and this year first semester, so that I didn't have to live in the dorms, because I'm definitely someone that likes having independence, and the dorms don't really allow you to do that. But all in all, it's an incredible school, and I'm actually really happy I went there, but it did have its ups and downs, that's for sure. Where is somewhere you have traveled in the world that you would say is your favorite? Oh, there's so many places I've been that I've loved. Those of you who know me know that New York City will always be my favorite city in the world, but I'd have to say the Amalfi Coast in Italy was pretty spectacular. Or Bern, Switzerland was also beautiful. I was only there for a couple days, but it was absolutely an incredible city. Beautiful. It's surrounded by a big moat, and there's bears there, and I would love to go back for sure to Switzerland. Amalfi Coast and Bern were definitely my two top choices that I love in the world. Biggest risk you've ever taken, do you regret it? Biggest risk. I feel like I do a lot of risky things. Like, I've gone skydiving, I've moved 7,000 miles away from home. I haven't really ever regretted anything I've done. I'm really happy with the way my life is going, and the things I've done have always worked out, whether they were rough or not in the beginning. So honestly, I don't think I've really regretted any of the risks I've ever taken. How's Brazil's government, and what's the president's name? Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about Brazil's government yet, but I do know that every state here has 3 senators instead of 2 like the United States. And their president was just recently elected. His name is, don't get on me if I say this wrong, Bolsonaro? I'll put a picture of him here so that you know who I'm talking about. I've heard he's kind of like a Trump 2.0. What did you do in Washington, D.C., and how was the PAGE program? All right, that's a big one. So a lot of people ask me, like, what were you doing in Washington, D.C.? Why were you there for 6 months? And how did you work in the Senate? I did something called the PAGE program, which is for high school juniors, and 30 kids from around the United States are picked by their senators to go to Washington, D.C. for 6 months. I was appointed by Lisa Murkowski, and she is our senior senator from Alaska. And we lived together, went to school together, and worked together. It was crazy. We would go to school in the mornings from 6 a.m. to like 9:45, I want to say, and then we would go to this Capitol building every day, and we would get there like an hour and a half before the senators got there, and we would be there till after they all left. So some days we would work till like a minimum of 6 p.m. Other days we were there till like 9 p.m. There's one government shutdown, too. There was a couple late nights when we were there till like 1 or 2 a.m. It was wild. And we got to do some really cool things, like go to the State of the Union address on our second day there. We got to go to the joint session of Congress when President Emmanuel Macron was in DC. He's the French president, if you don't know who he is. We got to tour so many places. But then on the weekends, I had a really good friend. One of my best friends in the world lived right outside of DC, and so I would go stay with her every single weekend and just get to chill out. We would do lots of fun things on the weekends, and then I would go back to the page program on the weekdays. But yeah, that was a page program, so I was there for 6 months. Working in DC and living there is kind of what made me fall in love with political science and made me want to continue a career in that path. What's the smoking age and what's the drinking age in Brazil? The drinking age is 18, but they're very lenient about it. Smoking age, I'm not sure if we're talking about marijuana or tobacco. Tobacco, I'm guessing, is also 18. Marijuana is illegal here. Where do you want to live when you're older? Those of you who know me know that I don't necessarily want to live in one place my whole life. The way I was raised with a lot of traveling is the way I want to keep living. And so ideally I would like to have a few small like apartments in various locations around the world. I think it would be really cool to have a place in like Italy or Paris, another maybe in New York, California. I'm just hoping whatever career path life takes me to allows me to travel. Like, that is my one requirement for a job, is that I need to be able to travel. Are you gonna keep the blonde in Brazil or do something different? Ooh, I don't know. I really like the blonde right now. I feel like it's at a really nice spot. I got it done maybe like a month ago, and personally I'm not ready for it to go away yet. I don't want to go back to brown. I feel like brown's boring. But if you have any ideas for me, like what I should do to my hair, drop that in the comments below, because, you know, if you think I should dye it all pink or blue or just chop it all off, give myself a buzz cut, like, the possibilities are endless. So yeah, just let me know. What do you think I should do with my hair? How's your skin? Any holy grail products you recommend for the heat and sun exposure? Ooh, I have like 10 million different hair masks I use, which isn't for your skin, but hair can get fried in the sun. It's like, my hair's definitely been a little more fragile. So I put oil in the ends from like here down every day after I shower, and constantly putting hair masks on, oils on my skin. I use a Drunk Elephant Maracuja oil. Maracuja? I don't know how to say it. I put it on my skin. I'll link that down below because that is amazing. It's amazing. It's kind of pricey. I've talked about it on my Instagram before, but you know, you can never go wrong with sunscreen. Yeah, sunscreen. That's what I got for UV protection. What's the first thing you suggest to do in Brazil if someone were to vacation there? I don't feel like I know the country well enough to give a recommendation like that, but I definitely say go to a beach, sit down at one of the bars, order a coconut, and just watch the waves. What are you doing after Brazil? I am going back to Alaska. I will be there for a little bit. I'm going to walk for my high school graduation, and then I'm just going to work for a month, and then afterwards I'm hoping to go to Washington DC this summer, maybe do an internship, and then after Lollapalooza, of course, and then I'm hopefully going to Mexico with a bunch of my girlfriends in August, and then college. So that's kind of going to be the next half a year for me, just traveling and working and lots of fun stuff. How old were you when you started to travel on your own? I was 4 years old, I think. My dad lives in Indiana, and so starting at age 4, my mom would put me on planes so that I could go visit him. How is dating if you're constantly traveling so much? I don't date. I've dated one person. Well, 2, I guess, if you count 3 weeks, but I don't. I like being independent. I like traveling a lot. I'm young. I don't want to be committed, and I'm having a great time how I am now, and it doesn't make sense because I don't live in one place longer than like 5 months, and I haven't for the last like year and a half, 2 years. So just dating isn't something that's on my radar, and it's not something I look for. This is gonna be my last question, and I think it's a good one to wrap things up. When did you decide you wanted to document your life and share it with everyone around you? I've been wanting to get into YouTube for a really, really long time, but I always thought, you know, I didn't have exciting things to post, good content, and so I was like, I'm going to Brazil soon. I feel like that could be really cool, do some travel videos. I'll be so far away from friends and family, and everyone's gonna be asking me how it is. I don't wanna have to keep repeating myself to people, so I'll just make a YouTube and I can just show everybody what it's like. And I think it's been a really good way so far. When someone asks me how Brazil is, I just send them the link to my first video because it just kind of showcases like what I've been up to lately. And this video, just to let you guys know who I am, I think it covered a lot of different points. We went through a lot of material today. So that was my Q&A video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned some things about me. Let me know in the comments like if you have any other video ideas you want me to do. This one was a requested video by like 10 different people told me to do a Q&A for my YouTube channel. So I did it. Try to like, subscribe. So give it a like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Alright guys, give it a big thumbs up if you actually enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye guys.